Welcome to the J.R. Hendrick Texan Night. The podcast deals with the early life of yours truly. Now telling it all is living approved me. At 9 p.m. Eastern, the night of the 29th of April, Jim and Betsy are entertaining Lady Radicorn and her husband, congressional candidate Mike Shorthorn from El Paso. It was a good time for all. Lady Radicorn and Betsy formed a fast friendship, and Jim and Mike Shorthorn agreed that a Gingrich Army alliance would do just the right thing to help for a conservative revolution. 3:30 a.m. Friday, Wednesday, January 30th. Jim wakes up and puts on his worked out clothes. Last night he had gotten a call from Claude asking him to RSVP his invitation and apologizing to Jim for ignoring him. Claude had agreed to go to the barbecue this weekend, minus Becky. The two were having relationship problems. 4 a.m. Eastern. Jim is sitting in the downstairs main living room reading Peace with God by Billy Graham. He would be reading that for a while before going downstairs to the gym to do cardio for the day. 4 a.m. Central. JR wakes up in a surly mood. He's tired of the sanctimonious talk from Kevin McDonald and Brent Clark about his friendship with Brad. So, last night, he picked up the phone to reach out to Brad. They agreed to meet after Spanish class today. At the same time, an hour ahead, Jim is in the downstairs, the basement gym, working on some cardio, stationary bike, and treadmill. 5 a.m. Central. Jim is exercising at the swimming practice. Oh, don't tell me after all this time that you're going to be talking to Brad. I want to give him another chance. Perhaps he's changed. JR, he'll never change. JR, have you lost your noggin? Charlie said. Charlie, Brent said. JR, you get to choose. Yeah, that's right, I get to choose. And I'm tired of this stupid wait and see. So I'm seeing him after Spanish. Okay, Brent said. Charlie tapped JR on the arm. Swim a little harder. Shut up, Charlie Nation, Brent said. Okay, let's exercise, Brent said. "6:30 a.m. Central. JR is having cinnamon rolls at the Spirit Club with Brent Clark and C.B. Coleman. Have you looked at the Birch BBS lately? C.B. asked. Man, I don't look at that stuff, Brent said. Well, I think we better, JR said. I got an email from my dad saying that it seems the Clinton administration is in disarray, what with Webster Hubbell and Bernie Nussbaum gone. I'll send you guys the information so that you can tap on. This is something we all need to be a part of. 8 a.m. Eastern. Jim arrives at his office at the Small Business Administration. He has a few administrative duties, but he also has to practice a speech that he's doing in the U.S. House of Representatives tomorrow night. 9 a.m. JR is giving his advanced presentation in business and professional speech class. It's an interesting public affairs approach issue. It says, the title of the presentation was A Public Affairs Approach to the Clinton Crime Bill. JR seems to be enjoying himself in this. 12 p.m. Central. JR is having lunch with Brad at Jumbo Joe's Hamburger. You know, JR, you told me when you met Charlie Nation at the School for the Blind in summer of 1985, you said he was loud and exacerbating. Then he meets us in the fall of 1986, and all he can talk about is having sex with the superintendent's daughter. Seriously, JR, how low can you get? I know, Brad, okay? Knock it off. I don't have a choice. My father says Charlie has to have the internship. You know, not that I'm complaining. Your father's okay. But I gotta say, he's a fascist the way he controls his life. JR gets furious. Don't you ever talk to me like that about my father ever again. JR said, I'll see you at the Bible study. JR gets up and left. Pick up the phone to call Darren to pick him up. 2 p.m. Eastern. Jim is depressed, having discovered he got excoriated by Erskine Bowles and Vice President Al Gore at the news conference this morning. Not to mention an argument this morning between him and Claude over his appointing of Lamar Phillips as assistant director, as deputy director. Jim didn't want Lamar in there for concern it would impact his relationship. I mean, Claude didn't want Jim to appoint Lamar because he was afraid it would impact his relationship with the Clinton administration. So, Jim goes into his office and he calls for one of his communications assistants, Laurel Roby, for some champagne and some coitus. $2 p.m. JR is in his dorm room studying when he gets a phone call. It's his father. Hey, Daddy, what's on your mind? JR asks. You make sure you're good and packed, boy. You get together with your grandma Friday morning. Now, I've contacted Darren. You two are coming down this weekend for the ranch barbecue. And don't you be messing around, son. Daddy, I wouldn't miss your barbecue for the world. $3 p.m. Jim is back at the Small Business Administration reciting his speech that he's going to be giving tomorrow at the U.S. House Chamber. 5 p.m. Central. JR's in his room when the Blake Carter show comes on, And Blake makes this pronouncement. When Blake is talking to Andrew House. I want to read a letter that James Ryan Hendrick wrote to Andrew House. He's given me permission to read it. It says this. Newt Gingrich's speech last Thursday was amazing. I sat enchanted in the House gallery as he spoke about matters of political and economic importance, such as in a matter that I have never seen before. Now, Andrew, how do you interpret this? I think it's only a matter of time before the Clinton administration sees that they got a mole. Someone that could do them some harm and the country some good. To them, they'll quickly see there's a spy in the house. 6 p.m. JR and Jennifer go to Orlando's. They split a cheeseburger mushroom pizza and with extra onions and Dr. Peppers. They are having a good time.